Welcome to a summary of episode 12 of the Read Finnegans Wake in 200 Sessions podcast. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're diving headfirst into one of the most notoriously difficult books ever written and pulling out a single, explosive story. We're going to untangle the tale of a song so powerful, so scandalous, it completely destroyed a man's reputation. Let's get right into it. Okay, take a look at this. This beast of a word is a single 100-letter creation from Finnegans Wake, and believe it or not, it has a meaning. It represents thunderous applause. In this explainer, we're going to unpack the incredible story behind the song that earned this reaction. How is it made, and what kind of chaos did it cause? And hey, while we're at it, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. So, every great story has a beginning, right? And the story of this infamous ballad starts with a fella named Hosty. He's our songwriter. But this masterpiece wasn't born from some quiet moment of divine inspiration. Oh no. It was the chaotic, almost accidental result of a very specific and very, very Dublin series of events. So how did this all come together? Well, let's just follow Hosty and his buddies through their day. It all kicks off with a good hearty ham breakfast, to line the stomach. That gives them the fuel for a chilly trek across the city. Next up, a super important stop, the pawnbroker's. He's got to redeem his false teeth. I mean, you can't really belt out a proper ballad without your chompers, can you? And then they land at a pub called the Old Sot's Hole, where some decent sort treats them all to some J.J. and S whiskey. And it's right there, in that boozy haze, that the idea for the song starts to take shape. And this quote just nails it. This is the final push. After a few quick drinks, this brand new whiskey-fueled friendship spills out into the street. It's in this moment of liquid courage and camaraderie that Hosty gets the idea for his new song. A vicious, scathing takedown of a man described as the vilest bugger but most attractive avatar on the planet. So the song is written, but a ballad is totally useless without an audience, right? So for its big premiere, Hosty doesn't pick some stuffy concert hall. Nope. He performs it right in the heart of Dublin, literally in the shadow of a huge monument to the great Daniel O'Connell, for absolutely anyone and everyone to hear. And you have to picture the audience. It was incredible. This wasn't just a few people walking by. It was a massive, single-minded super crowd. You had young troublemakers rubbing shoulders with devout church-going ladies. You had broke gentlemen from the charity hospital standing next to a few old souls who were definitely feeling the effects of a drink or two. It was a perfect slice of the entire city, all gathered together to hear what Hosty had to sing. All right, so the verses are sung, the chorus is chanted, and the crowd goes absolutely wild. But think about it. How do you capture that sound on a piece of paper? The sound of hundreds of people clapping, cheering, stomping their feet, all mixed with the noise of a sudden downpour of rain? That's the question Joyce is basically asking. He needs a word that can hold all the energy of this entire scene. The roar of the crowd, the power of the moment, everything. So what does that actually sound like? This is his 100-letter answer. And it's not just nonsense syllables. It is a meticulously built sound effect. Joyce is weaving together the sounds of clapping, of crashing, of a storm, and he's pulling words from a bunch of different languages to create this one universal sound for a totally overwhelming reaction. And if you break the word down, you can really see the genius at work. It's like a puzzle. You've got klatsch, which is German for clap, battere from Italian, gresada from Irish, and of course our own applaud from English. He even throws in a Greek root for loud, explosive noises. It's like Joyce became a sound engineer, stitching together the very idea of applause from all across Europe to make one perfect word. So, what was this ballad that got such a crazy reaction? It was called the Ballad of Persse O'Reilly. Now, the name itself is a fantastic pun. Persse O'Reilly is actually the French word for an earwig, which just so happens to be a nickname for the guy the song is about. The main idea of the song is just so simple and so devastating. It takes its target, a man named Humpty Earwicker, or HCE for short, and it frames him as a modern-day Humpty Dumpty. Just like that poor egg in the nursery rhyme, HCE was sitting pretty, king of his castle. But he had a great fall, specifically off the magazine wall, and his reputation is about to be shattered into a million pieces. And this ballad does not pull a single punch. It's just a laundry list of accusations, mixing his public life with private scandal. He gets accused of promoting unpopular ideas, things like contraceptives and religious reform. But then it gets super personal. hinting at some crime he committed in Phoenix Park, making a pass at a maid at the zoo, and even an indecent act by a monument. The song basically attacks his character from every single angle you can imagine. And this right here, this is the final nail in the coffin. The song ends by twisting that famous line from the nursery rhyme. It flat out declares that HCE's reputation, his public corpse, is so completely and utterly destroyed that nothing and nobody can ever put it back together again. It's brutal. But the story doesn't just stop after that one performance. Oh no. Like any great piece of viral content today, the ballad took on a life of its own, spreading far, far beyond that first Dublin crowd who heard it. The spread was incredibly fast. After that live debut, the ballad was privately printed on these cheap, single-page song sheets called broadsheets. And then they were just everywhere. Wind-blown copies started circulating all over the city, traveling from lane to lane, village crying to village, until this scandalous story had reached every single corner of Ireland. So what was the real-world impact of this literary diss track? Well, according to the story, the damage was absolute. This one ballad so completely wrecked HCE's public standing that it cost him a popular election. It basically ended his political career. The result of this whole viral campaign? A big, fat zero. A total defeat, all because of a simple song born in a pub. And this whole thing leaves us with a fascinating question that feels like it could have been written yesterday. The Ballad of Persse O'Reilly is really a story about reputation, about rumors, and about the unbelievable power of a good story. It forces us to ask, when a story just captures the public's imagination, when it's catchy and scandalous and everyone is repeating it, does it even matter anymore if it's true? A little something to think about from a book written almost 100 years ago. Thanks for tuning in.